What is going on, everybody? It is Dylan with Astrodfs bringing you a brand new video. Today's video, I'm going over Week 10's cash slate. So, cash games is double ups, 50-50s. It's whatever you want to call it, head-to-heads. Anything basically to double your money. So, 50% of the contestants win in the 50-50. Double up, I believe it's 40 or 45. But you actually double up that 50-50 is kind of just under, and then head-to-head is almost the same thing. So these are players that you want to take to be in the field and not take as much risk, but you still want that reward. So I'll just go position by position and give you guys plays that I am considering great cash plays today. So Josh Allen against Minnesota. Appears to play. There's been nothing that I've heard of him not supposed to play. Everything leans towards him playing. So Josh Allen, 8,600 if you're willing to pay up for a quarterback. Patrick Mahomes, though, against Jacksonville at 7,900. I'd probably prefer Patrick Mahomes over Josh Allen. I still think Josh Allen has a good game if he plays the entire game healthy. Nothing happens in game that takes him out. But Patrick Mahomes, 7,900 against Jacksonville here. It should be a really good game. I hope Jacksonville plays well because I want this to be a very good game, and I think it can be. Patrick Mahomes is definitely a play up there for me. And then we have Tua at 6,700. Is probably that mid-tier guy with Justin Fields. These two guys are guys that I like. Miami-Cleveland has a very good game script to be an over game. Cleveland's able to move the ball. Miami clearly moves the ball a lot. Tua finding a really nice rhythm with that offense. So 6,700 Tua. Justin Fields gets bumped up a lot. 6,500 against Detroit. I think a lot of people are on Justin Fields. And it's kind of like the Jalen Hurts thing, to where Jalen Hurts last season wasn't a very good quarterback, just an NFL quarterback. It's no shot towards him. Just that offense wasn't very good. They couldn't move the ball passing. But he ran the ball so well that he was a great fantasy quarterback. And that's Justin Fields is improved a lot in the pass game. I think they're starting to find more ways to use his arm. But the way he uses his legs, I mean, he sets the record for most rushing yards in a regular season football game at 178 last week. But other than that, I mean, you just look at his fantasy points since week 4, puts up 11, then 17, 19, 24, 26, 45. Obviously, I don't think anyone expects him to get 45 again, but we're hoping to a 20 to 30 point game here against Detroit, to where Detroit's defense is bad. It's a divisional game. I expect this game to be close, which means Justin Fields is going to be able to run the ball, be able to pass, not use Khalil Herbert, Montgomery as much because they're up by a lot or anything like that. So Justin Fields, 6,500 is definitely that play for me. Russell Wilson's a GPP play. I think he's a really good tournament play. By the way, for what it's worth, don't really like him in cash. And then to bottom it out, Trevor Lawrence against Kansas City, 5,400. And Jacoby Brissett, 5,400 against Miami. These two guys is a coin flip to me. If you want a pay down, say you want to pay up for Kelsey, you want to pay up for your running backs and wide receivers, and you need to pay down for a quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, Jacoby Brissett are plays there for me in cash. So let's go to running back. Saquon, yes, I will continue to play Saquon until the Giants don't use him. They are using him. They're making sure he's the vocal point of their offense. Heavy volume against the worst rush defense in the league. This is all you would ever want out of a cash game running back. We continue to go down. Nick Chubb is another play. I'd rather just pay up for Saquon, though. If like you're paying up for a running back, Saquon is definitely that guy there for me. Derrick Henry and Nick Chubb are always solid plays. I mean, they're some of the best running backs in the league for a reason. I mean, Derrick Henry is just consistently rushing over 100 yards here in a game that should be close between Denver and Tennessee. Derrick Henry is a really good play. Nick Chubb against Miami, always a great play. I just like the passing game in that. I still think Nick Chubb, same thing as Derrick Henry, is a guy that just gets you a lot of yards and those touchdowns as well. We continue to go down. Josh Jacobs against Indy is a play. I'd probably rather go Jonathan Taylor, though, for $100 cheaper. I believe this is a game where Jeff Saturday is going to make it very simple that, hey, we have one of the best running backs in the league. Let's use him. Let's use that offensive line. 7,500, Jonathan Taylor is a play for me. Alvin Kamara against Pittsburgh, 7,400, another play. Like these two guys, Jonathan Taylor, Alvin Kamara, definitely two cash plays for me that I really like. Travis Etienne will continue to use Etienne until he doesn't produce anymore. 3 straight games over 100 yards. It's that volume, though, that he also gets. He gets those targets. He gets those rushes. Like I said, Kansas City's offense is something else. So I hope Jacksonville is able to score points. And then Tony Pollard, only Tony Pollard if Zeke is out. Zeke is very questionable to being in and out. It is truly questionable. If Zeke is out, Tony Pollard 6,500 is a very good play in my opinion. Dameon Pierce 6,300 playing a very good defense, but we've seen the Giants' run defense just get abused and used. And you see Dameon Pierce, I mean, the last 2 weeks he plays Tennessee and Philly, two really strong defenses. Granted, he gets the receiving touchdown week 8 against Tennessee to kind of bail him out in a way. But still consistently putting up over 10 fantasy points a game. And the last 2 weeks is two really stronger defenses and still puts up points. The Giants kind of bad against the run. So I like Dameon Pierce there as well. Jamal Williams is just becoming more and more of a play as you hear about DeAndre Swift not being fully healthy and doesn't expect to be fully healthy at all this season. Jamal Williams at 5,900 there. Khalil Herbert at 5,900 is more of a tournament play. I like Jamal Williams as a cash play. Khalil Herbert more of a tournament type play. And then the last name that I'm going to throw out here is a play. Jaylen Warren is a tournament play for me. But getting Najee back at 5,500, Saints against running backs isn't the greatest, but I believe for his price point, Najee Harris there is a play for me. And then wide receivers. So obviously Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp are safe plays. The only issue with Cooper Kupp is Matt Stafford is expected to be out. Both quarterbacks in Arizona and the Rams are expected to be out. So that game is going to be crazy to see what happens there. Justin Jefferson against Buffalo, it's going to be a rough matchup. But he'll have to be utilized in order for Minnesota to keep up with how good and efficient Buffalo's offense is. Stephon Diggs against Minnesota there, 8,300. He's probably the guy that I would target in cash gains for a wide receiver. Really good matchup here. The only issue is the Josh Allen thing. Expected to play. Only way this backfires is if he gets banged up and stuff like that. He starts to get discomfort in his elbow. But Case Keenum's Aaron. We know what happens with Case Keenum. So Stephon Diggs definitely a play there for me. Jalen Waddle to go with Tyreek Hill. Both those guys, credible talents. Staying away from DeAndre Hopkins only because of Murray being out. CeeDee Lamb 7,000 is a really good play, but Amon-Ra at 6,900 I think is just the smart choice here. Great matchup. Bears secondary has been very bad. 19 targets in the last 2 weeks. His reception and yardage and no touchdowns haven't been there. I believe this is a game where Amon-Ra, I mean, just really quick before we move on, look at like the defenses that Amon-Ra's had to face, like the defenses that Detroit's had to face. So in Amon-Ra's games, New England, very strong defense. Dallas, one of the best defenses in the league. Green Bay, one of the better defenses in points allowed. And his numbers have just not been there. But you look at like week 1 against Philly has that great, pretty good game. Week 2 is a great game against Washington, Minnesota. Miami, 10 targets, 69 yards, 7 receptions, no touchdowns. But against the Bears defense, Amon-Ra is a really good play here for me. Chris Olave is definitely a play, but I really like Amari Cooper against Miami. If Miami puts up points like they have consistently done recently, Amari Cooper, really good matchup, 6,500. I really like that. Juju at 6,000 against Jacksonville. Jacksonville's secondary has not been great at all, and Juju is Mahomes' number 1 target outside of Travis Kelce. I do think Hardman is starting to rise in the ranks, but all 3 Kansas City wide receivers, Juju, MVS, Hardman, all 3 of those guys are definitely plays in my opinion. Christian Kirk, 5,900 is another cash play for me. I continue to say it. I want Jacksonville to compete in this game and be able to hold their own. They have a really good opportunity too. 5,900 Christian Kirk. Like this price range is perfect right now for cash plays because Deontay Johnson against New Orleans. New Orleans secondary banged up. And Kenny Pickett is just he's been a lot more efficient in the pass game than Trubisky. And what should be a Pittsburgh win here with TJ Watt returning, I believe. 5,800 Deontay Johnson's a play. And then Jerry Jeudy against Tennessee. Tennessee secondary is very banged up, and the ones that aren't playing the greatest. Jerry Jeudy is one of the better matchups and prices for me, 5,700. Darnell Mooney, if you like Justin Fields and you want to get some type of Bears player to go with him, Darnell Mooney, 5,500, going to have a really good matchup here. We continue to go down. George Pickens being one of Kenny Pickett's favorite targets, 5,000. Good matchup. I like that as well. Continue to go down. And there's a few names I'm going to throw out here. Khalif Raymond, really good matchup against the Bears. 4,400. I think is more of a tournament play than cash, though. But Donovan Peoples-Jones, one of the best matchups on this slate. 4,300. Definitely a play you should consider. I mentioned MVS. And the last person is Matt Collins here. Really good matchup, 4,200. With Renfro out, we saw how much Matt Collins was used in that offense. Tight ends, Kelsey, simple. A really good matchup. I know you could see the red, but it's a really good matchup for Travis Kelsey against Jacksonville. Other than that, for tight ends, I'm probably paying down Greg Dulcich. I think a lot of people are going to target, and rightfully so. 3,400, really good matchup, getting used a lot. Evan Ingram, 3,300 against Kansas City. And Foster Moreau, 3,200 against Indy. Those are my tight ends. Just short and simple there. I think the other one that you could consider is Harrison Bryant. Going to be down here, 2,700 with Njoku. We saw last year how utilized Harrison Bryant, Austin Hooper, and Njoku were. So Harrison Bryant's another play. I'd just rather go for those cheap 3K tight ends. And then defenses, I think it's very simple, easy for me. I like the Cardinals defense here, 2,700 for the cash play. You typically want to pay down the defense just because all they are is random. You don't really know what's going to happen. But with Matt Stafford and Kyler Murray supposed to be both out, the Cardinals defense, Pittsburgh's defense, these are my two, but I really prefer Arizona's defense. So I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, please leave a like and subscribe. That means a lot to me. If you guys are interested in joining us, the link for that will be in the description down below. If you guys want to go and check out the morning game video before it starts, that video is I will have the link for that as well. And then I will have a Sunday night showdown video going up later for the 49ers Chargers game. So, like I said, I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you in the next one.